of our folks over at INN. This is CCP Convict.
Hi there. How's it
How
going?
you doing? So we're on a bit of a crunch time,
Yeah.
just because the FanFest closing ceremony is happening quite soon. So I just thought we would maybe do some rapid fire questions.
Yeah, go.
What is your most embarrassing ship loss?
Most embarrassing ship loss was the first Raven that I ever lost. It's probably in the order of about 15 or so years ago now. I was playing with a friend who had started playing the game a little bit after me. We're out running a level 4 mission together, and a ship showed up in the site and started looting my wrecks. And I didn't like the idea of that, so I shot at him because he was suspect flagged to me, which of course made me suspect flagged to him, and he warped off. And I thought to myself, that's a job well done. And I continued running the mission, and then about 3 minutes later, he walked back onto grid in a sacrilege and kicked the shit out of my Raven, while my friend had just to helplessly sit there and watch me die due to my own incompetence.
Oh my god!
So that would be the one that sticks in my mind.
Be the one. What's your favorite ship and why?
My favorite ship is the Widow because it is the coolest looking hull in the game. Is it yours as well?
It's his as well.
It's the coolest looking hull in the game, Scorpion hull, Caldari Supremacy, and it has the coolest skin in the game as well, the Kalakiota black and red.
Yes,
yeah.
I have that one on mine.
I've said this before, there's no point in us actually making skins for the Widow, because why would you actually want to undock in any skin other than the default skin for it? And that actually goes for all of the Kalakiota ships as well, like the Firecatcher and the Rook and all of that too.
That's awesome. So you are a community developer.
Yes.
Did you work with the recent edition of Twitch drops?
Yeah, well, so not long after I started working, actually about a year or so after I started working at CCP is when I sort of took responsibility for the live streaming project of the company. So I've been developing that for a long time, just trying to, produce different types of content, get other people involved in it. We really wanted to do Twitch drops, but we were having trouble trying to get the time, because a lot of back-end work had to be done in order for our client to be able to sync, or our service to be able to sync with Twitch. And it was always one of those things where it was just a little bit too out of scope for the team that needs to do it. We're working on this feature, we have to move it. In the end, I collaborated with Lumicode, who's a community third-party developer who does Twitch tools. He wrote the Eve to Twitch bot. I reached out to him and I said, hey, I've had this idea. What if people who got channel points on the CCP channel could register with your Eve to Twitch bot, click a button, and then the bot would just send an Eve mail, get a character to send an Eve mail using the EPI with a code pulled out of a database. He's like, yeah, that could work. So he engineered it, and I think we debuted it for Alliance Tournament 17. And it was a bit sketchy at first. It took a little while. Lumicode put in a lot of work to try and polish it and smooth it out. But it worked, and that basically gave us ghetto Twitch drops just for the CCP channel, because you could watch channel points turn it into skins, and that meant, and as a result of that, our average viewers went up by 75%, which is huge. Wow. Once it became a thing. And so I got those stats and I showed it around internally. I'm like, now imagine this for all Eve streamers, and they're like, oh, okay, maybe we can find some room for that Twitch drops, but I can't take full credit for it because I kind of put it down for a while, and it was actually CCP Alpha in the end who sort of yeah, we should really get back onto this. And for the last year, he's been really leading the charge internally to get Twitch drops properly integrated in EVE Online, and which brings us to where we are now.
That's awesome. Bit of a heavy hitter question for our last little tidbit here.
Yeah.
Did you know that when it comes to EVE streaming, because of OPSEC and Intel stuff, almost 45% of the screen is covered, average.
Yep.
Do you have any type of possible in-work solutions
for
this?
It would be amazing if you could have just sort of some kind of UI thing where when it was getting captured by OBS or something, it split it out.
A streamer mode.
Yeah,
which a lot of other games have now.
Which a lot of games have. A lot of games, though, that were designed after the rise of the streaming era and can incorporate from the start. Fundamentally, EVE Online is still a 20-year-old game, and a lot of things which would probably have been included in EVE Online if it was made today weren't ideas at the time. And retrofitting something into an older game like EVE is a lot more effort than just baking it in from scratch. So I agree that would be absolutely phenomenal. There's no plan for it. I wouldn't even know where to start, but maybe one day that'll be the dream if some sort of technology comes down the pipeline that makes it easier for developers to do that. Incorporate that. Yeah, some sort of a third party thing that you could just take it off the shelf and plug it into your client, or something that something to do with your OBS software, which you know how you can split audio from different inputs on OBS? It would be neat if you could split
the
different
video.
layers of video. Yeah. So just some way to like separate the panels out of the client, but then put them back on the screen in their old place, but you're only capturing everything underneath it. I mean, that'd be the dream. I mean, it would be so cool, but I don't think that's a thing that's going to happen anytime soon.
Alrighty. Well, thank you. I know you have to get ready for the closing ceremony.
Yeah, sorry about the short chat.
It's all good, and so do we. We have beers to grab. But it was very nice meeting you. Very nice talking to you for the short time we had. And for all of you, we will probably be doing a recap tomorrow over at the Eve Monument before we head to the airport. Probably something a little there, recapping the whole trip, and we hope to see you guys then. Otherwise, Convict, Kurt, we're off.